Well, as always, it's a pleasure for us to be welcoming our dear friend Yashwant Deshmukh on Squirrels.in, one of the foremost psephologists, election predictors, and I don't know whether it's safe to be a psephologist in India. Yashwant, I hope you're safe and sound.
Well, Bhubi, I have been maintaining all along that, one things which you cannot call, you cannot call. That's why I decided to, do my bit and say this time I cannot call it. Thank you very much, and that's it. So it
But
is
why?
much better to
But
be
tell
safe
me,
than
but tell
sorry.
me, Yashwantji, as a psephologist, and you've been at it for so long, as a psephologist, when you come to this conclusion that one election is too close to call, what are those factors which convince you that this election is too close to call? Because clearly this was a wave election, which people couldn't understand. If
Of
this
course,
wasn't a
yes.
wave election, then I don't
Yeah,
know what is a
it
wave
should have
election.
been called off. I mean, the way it was, it should have been easy for us to read.
Hmm.
We have been getting indication of the impact of this Ladki Behan scheme, but a big chunk of female voters were still going into don't know, can't say, or non-response territory. Now, even if you look into that account, I think where we decided, and if you, in one of my Twitter conversation, one day after, the exit numbers came out, the election commission gave the final turnout numbers, and the moment I realized that females have actually 6% swing in their turnout when compared to only 3% of male, and then and only I told my team, see, this is going to be one-way traffic now, for a simple reason that it's not just that we have in our post poll number we figured out about 5-6% lead for NDA in female voters. Now it is getting into quantified because of the 6% jump in turnout further. So that is like an impact of 12% if you look into from the statistical meaning. And where it will end, we don't know. I mean, that kind of thing. Having said that, the same thing exactly also happened in Jharkhand. But this time it was in favor of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and the Congress. Because female turnout Jharkhand for the first time in first phase actually was 4% over the male turnout. So they surpassed the male turnout. Forget about swinging in their own numbers, but it was the other way around. So the moment that number came out, I said JMM is probably going to cross the line. And when the first phase numbers came out, and then second phase numbers when it came out, it was almost like certain that okay, if the females are coming out in bigger number and females are going in one day, they are going to dictate this election.
But Sudeep, what's the statement which has just been put out by Mallikarjun Kharge?
I just saw, I got the news, on WhatsApp that Mallikarjun Kharge is saying that we are going to launch a nationwide campaign against EVMs and ask for paper ballots. So that's what it is. But I want to ask, since Yashwant also brought up Jharkhand, I also wanted to ask Yashwant this. Of course, we also went on the ground. None of us could anticipate a wave. It didn't look like a wave election on the ground. And we also got the same kind of response from women that you did. Point is, there was Ladki Behan, which is being seen as one of the reasons for the success. The other one is what a lot of the BJP people are saying, well, off record kind of, that nobody could detect the strong pro-Hindutva, blatant Hindutva wave in Maharashtra. Is that something that you also saw?
No, I don't agree with that, Sudhir. If Hindutva wave would have been the thing, it should have worked in Jharkhand as well.
Correct.
Honestly speaking, for me, it was a classical female. I mean, I said this to, in fact, Barkha that day of the counting, that this will go down in history as the election which is gonna change India forever. This was a bigger movement for me in terms of electoral impact, rather bigger than Mandal and Kamandal in the current age and time. Because from here onwards, today, no election will be the same. Because everybody will understand that there is a vote bank which is 50% of the mass, which can actually go beyond caste and religion lines and can vote on a certain scheme and which is directly, debiting cash in their account and making an impact in their life directly. And I'm sorry, I don't even look at that, Bhupendra, as a Labharti scheme or as a freebie scheme. No. 70 साल से भूपेंद्र अपने यहाँ पे दारू बट रही है, पैसा बट रहा है मर्दों में इलेक्शन कॉल करने के लिए, राइट? We have been witnessing that all along. That would have been that culture. But money given to women in their account, it doesn't go into daru and tambaku. It goes into the welfare of their family, into education, into food, into nutrition, into medication and whatnot. So I believe for the first time, by accident, and I'm being serious, by accident, Shivraj Singh Chauhan kind of opened up a channel for everyone that see, here is a kind of a dormant vote bank, and you try everything under the sun, and if you directly do a direct transfer over there, you are going to unlock something which nobody has locked so far. So Shivraj Singh Chauhan locked it, Hemant Soren locked it, and now we have seen Maharashtra locking it, and now onward, anybody, any damn politician under the sun in India who has even a political brain of a peanut size will understand this. And that's why it is never going to be the same again. It's going to change once and for all.
So when we see all these results, that Sudeep was talking about it in Maharashtra, to seats where minorities, Muslim population more than 20%, even there the Mahayuti seems to be scoring, over the MVA. Are you then saying that this direct cash transfer to women's account now is a movement which is above caste, which is above religion, which is above everything else? So it doesn't matter whether Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, when it comes to Malai, sab hai bhai bhai. Is that the new mantra now?
Absolutely. I mean, see, for example, I remember in our post-poll data, when we saw there was a deviation among the Muslim females in Maharashtra, we thought that, okay, hold on. This is something which we are not going to say it upfront, because there could be a data noise. There could be a difference in things, when you have something of that kind of significance, you want to double check it with your peers. And when I looked into the data of CSDS, which literally said that almost every fourth Muslim female in Maharashtra has voted for Mahayuti, that has reconfirmed what we found in our post poll. So obviously, this is now more or less like Gujarat, where every fourth, every third Muslim actually ends up voting for the BJP. This is going beyond what the traditional norm or routine that has been set in this country, where the caste equation, religious polarization, all these things have been the deciding factor, have been the line that we would see the election going on. And all of a sudden, this is something which is out of syllabus today. Exactly is out of syllabus for politicians, out of syllabus for people like you and me as well. And now it's difficult to gauge. And Sudeep, when you said that you went into the field, see what happens when we talk in the field, is Yojana ka asar hoga, we are talking to whom? We are talking generally to males around us. I mean, I'm sorry to say, because in survey science also, we do have a problem of lower response rate of the females voters. Female voters, in any case, voters' response is less, and then big number of questions they end up saying don't know, can't say. All right. So what impact this Yojana will have was not exactly coming directly from the horse's mouth. Till the point of time Election Commission told us, you know what? There is a historic rise in turnout as far as the female voter is concerned. And then you say, this is where I kind of missed the wave. If I had known, I would have gone for a wave. So these are the things which we have to be mindful about in future as
well. So the likes of Yogendra Yadav or the Congress party who are talking about election forensics. The Congress wants to take out a nationwide yatra. You'd say that it's missing the wood for the trees, and actually the real reason is what you're talking about. EVM manipulation, vote fraudery. Like in some constituencies, in some booths, it's turning out number of votes counted more than the number of votes actually polled. Is there any merit substance to these allegations?
If I miss the wave as a pollster, suppose karo, okay, what is my reaction? My reaction is that, we missed it. We were wrong, right? We are not saying something wrong is happening. हम इतने गलत नहीं हो सकते. अरे बाबा हम गलत थे, हो गए. Public ka vote, public ka number, that is in front of your eyes. How can you be so blind that you are unable to read it? And by the way, election forensic, which I found that to be not the forensic idea, but actually I found his entire article in Indian Express quite alarming, because with the smoothness, in sugar-coated way, he has talked about the Dhaka model will come to in India. if these things are not done, that is damn alarming. Why are you not asking for a forensic in Jharkhand, where similar 15% reverse swing than Lok Sabha has happened, but it has happened in your favor? If it has happened in your favor, no forensic is required. And then you are talking about Dhaka model. Are you trying to, really talk it so easy that it becomes narrative mein aaram se, it becomes natural? Okay, haan, we can talk about a Dhaka like. Damn you, how can you talk about a Dhaka like situation here?
But Yashwantji, then again, look at some results. Like a lot of Congress leaders, even in fact in private conversations, I may point out even BJP leaders. Look at Chandrapur. The Lok Sabha bypoll takes place. The Congress party wins the Lok Sabha bypoll. The assembly segments take, go to polls. It's the BJP or the Mahayuti which is ahead. Is all this a new voting behavior, as you're saying, which we are not familiar with, and therefore everybody is confused?
But split voting for the last 15 years is in. We have done so many programs talking about this, Bhupen, with you only. You remember when 10 years back I started talking about the split vote. 2004 elections, I divide the term split vote, said it is a lack of the split vote why NDA lost in 2004. But 14 onward, so many elections we have seen in the split vote where Lok Sabha is behaving separately and Vidhan Sabha. Same day, in the same booth, people have voted in two different directions. Have you seen the gap between the BJP and BJD numbers in the recently Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha number? Now, 5 years back, 10 years back? It's always there. What's the big deal? It's always there. So, it's nothing new. It's not new. You may be unhappy with the results. Okay, talk about the positive implementable solutions. For example, I have been saying and maintaining 100% VVPAT counting. No, it's a stupid idea. But yes, make a law, whichever closed seats are there. Make a law of 1%, 3%, 5%, 10%, whatever you want to make in the parliament. But in US, many states are there where we do a lot of trackers in US, and that's why I'm telling with full confidence, many states are there and counties are there with the local laws where anything less than 3% margin or 1% margin automatically triggers a recount. It's by law. So why don't you implement a law? All the polling booths, all the EVMs, where the margin is less than 1%, we have to count the VVPAT. Go ahead and do it. Implement it. Talk about
that is left, right? That is left to the candidate right now to ask for it. I mean, it's not a law.
Exactly.
It's for somebody else to decide.
You do not ask for it, nobody's gonna do that. So obviously, candidates know it better than your narrative setting of the larger design. So this, unfortunately, what I read today, Mr. Yadav's column, and now you are telling me Khadge ji has something in that direction. I'm really, really sorry. This is going in a complete wrong direction. If they have decided, I would plead them literally with full hand. Don't take. You are the oldest and the biggest political party in India. Biggest because you still happen to be in the states where BJP is absent. So still in the worst of the times, you are getting 20% vote. That means every fifth Indian is still voting for you. Don't take that line. Because in so many states, you won in Telangana, Karnataka, Himachal, hands down. In so many states, you have actually won. Opposition parties have won so many states. Jharkhand, they have won recently. What else you need for? But when you lose an election, doesn't mean the process is wrong.
So bottom line, Yashwant bhai, final question. You are basically saying, the prism of this Hindu versus Muslim voting behavior that we have seen for the last 2 decades, there is a new voting trend now, which according to you is emerging, which is casteless, genderless, religionless, which is based on how much cash is coming directly into a woman's account. That's the way to look at Indian elections henceforth.
Not genderless though. Not genderless.
Not generalized though, but I'm almost on the verge of trying to figure out what should we call it, because Mandal, Kamandal, and I think the Abha Mandal of the female voters, which is gonna probably, is that a good term? Good. I mean, you like that? Abha Mandal. So the era of Mandal and Kamandal is over. The era of Abha Mandal is in. So let's look forward to for that kind of analysis where it is going to take us.
Okay. Yashwant ji, thank you. Thank you so much, Yashwant, for joining.